Welcome to Insure for Life. I'm Stacey Gregory. Today we're talking leadership, legacy, and financial strategy. I'm joined by Rita Stewart, a trusted voice in financial services who helps individuals, families, and small businesses make confident, informed financial decisions. Rita brings clarity, integrity, and real-world wisdom to this work. Rita, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Stacey. It's so good to be here with you this morning.
Yes, ma'am. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So for me, in terms of supporting individuals with their financial wellness, I love to ensure that people understand their own financial power, such that they can be positioned so that their money can last them the rest of their life. It's possible. That's right.
Now, how do you do that?
I do that multiple ways, actually. I love to sit down one-to-one, of course. I also host workshops. But in terms of actually helping individuals get to a place where their money will last them, it's an opportunity to first start by listening and understanding what their money position is and where they are. And as a result of that, I then know what solutions or financial solutions will help them do that. Many people do no longer have a pension, but do you know there is an opportunity, Stacey, for us to actually help people set up their own personal pensions? I mean, we know what's going on in the marketplace right now, right? People are losing jobs, etc. And with that, they're trying to figure out, what in the world do I do with this money that I now have in my 401k, my TSP, etc. And that's when we have a conversation. And I support them with ensuring that they can position that money to last them the rest of their life.
And so you're in financial services.
So for me personally, I am in financial services. For me, I'm on the insurance conglomerate side. I'm licensed in life and annuities. And I think a lot of people sleep on life. I mean, you know,
yes.
the industry.
You are.
And I think people sleep on that. And we both know that there is a huge opportunity for people to position well through insurance solutions.
Yes. So what I find my biggest struggle with working in the insurance industry is people understanding how valuable it is to have life insurance. It can help with many things like tax-free retirement through life insurance strategies, life insurance offering living benefits and long-term care, and just basic leaving an inheritance or building generational wealth for your family. What do you find to be the biggest struggle or the obstacle that your community is facing right now as far as life insurance or financial services?
You said a lot. Unfortunately, there's this misnomer that life insurance is only available to us should we pass away, right?
Yes.
That's what people generally think in the marketplace. But just as you just mentioned, there is an opportunity for us to position individuals for their retirement planning, and also should they incur a critical, chronic, or terminal illness, the life insurance with living benefits. In fact, this is life insurance with living benefits awareness month. So what does that mean that people don't realize because they want to shy away, like you're saying, from life insurance? They avoid the conversation. If you were to incur a critical injury,
like heart attack,
stroke, cancer, right?
Okay.
Alzheimer's, things like that, ALS. If you were to incur a diagnosis, something like that, there is an opportunity where that life insurance policy, where you may have that $300,000 policy, that $500,000 policy, that $100,000 policy, those monies can be accelerated and given to you based on the severity, right, of that particular illness, such that then you can use the money for however you wish to. Actually, it's not for the doctors.
No,
it's not for the hospitals. It's for you. So when you need to keep that mortgage up because you have to focus on your health and getting well, when you need to make sure that car payment is done, life insurance with living benefits are incredible. Totally incredible.
Yes, I like the fact that when my father was sick, this is a benefit I wish he would have had, because my mother, I think, had he not passed, she would have passed before him, because it took so much stress, and she was working a full-time job, coming home, taking care of a man that didn't want to be taken care of. He was not a good patient. But had she had access to living benefits, he could have used the money while he was alive to pay someone to come in and care for him. And that would have made his life easier, and my mother's life would have been so much better. But what he did have was a cancer policy that he was so proud of. And I don't know. I think the money that you spend on a standalone cancer policy,
Correct.
you could have a life insurance policy that serves many purposes, give you money while you're living and give you money at the time of death. So I see the benefit of that because I see what it looked like for someone that didn't have the resources to care for someone that they love, how it took so much out of them. Being a caregiver is very hard.
It is very, very hard. And I remember going through that for several years myself. You know, something else that comes to mind for me that people miss with life insurance is that I have it through my employer, and that's enough, right? I don't need to have a policy on my own. And I recently supported someone who got caught up in all the layoffs and the rifts that are going on. And she was carrying $1.2 million in life insurance through her employer. Mm-hmm. Okay. She just got laid off. So what does that mean? She no longer has the policy. This woman is now 60 years old and she wants to replace this $1.2 million. That is not going to be, that's going to be costly. So that's why I always tell individuals, own your policy outside of your employer. Yes. Do you find that? Do you see that?
I do. And then being a Medicare servicing agent, I meet with clients that are retiring 65 or older, and probably 99% of them do not have insurance from their job once they retire.
That's right.
And people say that, and I say, okay, well, that's just like you don't own that policy. When you leave your job, you lose, in most cases, you leave your insurance behind.
Yep.
My mother was still working when she passed away. She was 71. And she only was eligible for half of
that's exactly right.
the life insurance amount.
Yes.
So if you do have benefits as you're older through a job and you're still working, for her at age 70, it reduced to 50%. So that was a lot. Like what she thought she was getting, we didn't get. So I was surprised at that, and I really don't know how to combat or I talk to people, they tell me that, and I say okay, and just like you can't. I don't know what to say to them to convince them, but you still need to own your own policy.
You do.
And they feel like, oh, I'm okay. But the problem with waiting is that you could become uninsurable.
Yes.
The premiums when you're older can be very expensive, which means you can't afford what you need. But had you had a policy when you were younger, the premiums are low.
Yeah.
If you have a policy that accumulates cash value, over time the policy accumulates cash.
Yes.
And it just makes it so much better when you own your own policy.
You know, and thinking about what we do, because you mentioned tax-free retirement just a second ago, one of the things I think that people miss is there truly is an opportunity for us as insurance professionals to support individuals with their retirement planning as a supplement to what they have put in place for retirement.
Yes.
So with that, they need to be mindful of the fact that this money can actually accumulate and grow tax deferred, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And there is an opportunity for them to be able to have access to those funds tax free. And many people, again, as we said before, they are sleeping on what's possible with ensuring that life insurance is part of their portfolio. Would you agree?
I would agree. I met one of my clients. She wants to pay for her burial, her mausoleum, and it's about $23,000 for her to pay right now. And she didn't understand why insurance wouldn't pay for that up front. And I explained to her, well, had you taken out a life insurance policy when you were 40 years old, likely you would have had that money in cash value, so you could have used that money to pay for your burial in advance, and then you would still have money left over for your children as an inheritance. So there's so much that you can do with life insurance. There's so many different strategies like retirement, college funding.
Yes.
It's not an investment, but it does build cash value over time. And I'm actually hosting a webinar on tax-free retirement strategy on January 28th at 7 o'clock. And I'll be posting more information on that on Facebook. But I'm very excited to share what I know about how to build wealth while you're living.
That's exactly right.
And how to leave something for your children to leave a lasting legacy.
That's exactly right. In fact, my business is Legacy Financial Wellness, because it's
Okay.
all about being able to leave a legacy as well as helping individuals be whole and well as it relates to their personal finances. That's what it's all about for this, right? Have people be positioned to have financial dignity, right, throughout their life.
So when you talk to your clients and you talk about legacy, what does that mean to you? What does legacy mean to you?
That's such a good question. To me, I was convicted about this, years ago from a personal perspective through scripture. But there's an opportunity for whatever work that we do, whatever it is, whether it's what we do or whatever work someone is doing, to ensure that we're doing it such that it will have a lasting impact beyond our years, beyond our lives, but impact future generations. That's the goal with legacy. That's important. Like, why are we here on this earth? What are we purposed for? And as a result of the work that we're doing, ensuring that it has everlasting impact, legacy.
Yes,
to me.
I agree, because with my mother passing, she left a legacy. It impacted me. It impacted my daughter. She's living her dream in New York because my mother had life insurance. And so my mother's legacy, it impacted her children, her children's children.
Yes.
And I'm sure what Morgan is doing, it will impact her children as well, because she is doing such great things in New York because of, my mother probably didn't even know that she had a legacy, because she always said, we ain't got nothing, but she had everything that we needed. She was able to serve us and give us so much that I know that makes her happy.
That's
that she
exactly
is remembered
right. That's exactly right.
for being great. Like, she's remembered in such a great way now. And I think that's so important. Like, leave your family something, because these grandchildren or children that you know that they have a special gift, help them.
Yes, that's exactly. And even Morgan, with the young people that will see her doing her work, she will have an impact on them. And that was as a result, like you're saying, of what your mother put in place. It's beautiful. I have a story as well. My grandfather was a logger, Stacey, a logger, but he caught hold to the opportunity to put a little bit away. So he had a personal pension established, right? Well, with that personal pension, my grandmother lived 15 years longer, or after he passed away. That money helped support her financially that he had put away. I still manage today some of that money that my grandfather put away as a logger in his personal pension for my 78-year-old uncle. It is possible. We just have to get started to put the money away and talk to people like us, right?
Yeah, I talked to a friend and he said, well, I have life insurance, but I don't know if I need more. But I don't think he thought about, well, if you pass away, how would your wife live? Like,
exactly.
Like, what do you, you may have life insurance to cover your burial, but what type of life do you want your wife and your daughters to live? Like, what type of impact you want to have once you pass on? And that's what legacy building means. Once you're gone, you're leaving the place better than you found it. And that's the goal. That's always my goal.
That's exactly right. Legacy is powerful.
This is so exciting. Now, how can you be reached?
So for me, Legacy Financial Wellness is my website, legacyfinancialwellness.com. My Instagram is Money Matters and Tea. I love tea. So hence, I'm the money lady. So Money Matters and Tea on Instagram. And my number, 804-677-7555. Just reach out to me anytime. Let's have a conversation, right?
Now, you said you had some type of event coming up?
Yes.
Is that open to the public, or how would?
Yes. I host several workshops. Money Matters and Tea is one of them with women. Money Matters and Tea is one that I host with women. And then another one, Wine, Women, and Wealth. That's actually tonight, Stacey, at Gather, 6 p.m. I also have a virtual one coming up next week, January 20th at 7 p.m., Money 101. So just reach out to me at Legacy Financial Wellness and or at Money Matters and Tea on Instagram, and I will make sure you get access to either one of my workshops.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
I see you online. I see you riding your bike. I see you talking about money. I see your events are always filled with women. I see you helping your community. And I'm so glad I had the opportunity today to sit down and talk to you. And I'm sure we will continue to grow and work together, because I'm sure there's a lot that I can learn from you and I'm
Likewise.
open to learn and grow as a community partner. I just think it's so important that we as a whole, as a group, people understand how important it is to build wealth.
Indeed it is.
And wealth in the mind is not just talking about money, but wealth with your health, with your family, with your community, your friendships, your relationship. This is all important.
It is. Well, thank you. Thank you again for having me.
You are welcome. So I'm Stacey Gregory Insurance. You can find me on all socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Stacey Gregory Insurance. And you can reach me at 804-539-6397. Thank you.